Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria. If you're new here, I am a personal trainer, nutrition coach, wife, believer, and I am starting a candle making business. So that's what this video is going to be all about. I'm going to kind of update you on just what led me to starting this, and then I'm also going to show you how to make coconut wax candles. So if you are interested in making your own candles, you can kind of take some tips from this to make your own. And before I get started on kind of updating you on what's going on with me, like how this started, I'm gonna show you my wax melter, because I'm gonna go ahead and start getting the wax melted before I start talking more. So bear with me just a second. And other quick update, it's been about 3 months since I've made a video, and I am 30 weeks pregnant. I've got 10 weeks left. Yeah, because it's 40 weeks long. Supposed to be, we'll see. But yeah, so you can kind of, let's see, you can kind of see the belly and all that good stuff. So if my face looks a little fuller than maybe you've seen before, that's what's going on. So here we go. All right guys, so here is my wax melter. I'm going to turn this thing on, but before I do, I just want to show you kind of like what it's all about. So essentially it's like a Presto pot, which I've never heard of before until now. But apparently it's used for cooking. It's kind of like a crock pot. But basically what it allows me to do is make a lot of candles at once. A lot of times what people do is they use the double boiler method, which basically is like you kind of get a pot, put a little bit of water in it, and then you stick the candle wax, pour bucket, whatever, pouring pitcher inside, and then you put your wax in here and you let it melt. But that just, it takes a lot of time to wait for it to melt. So that's why I went ahead and invested in this big pot, because yeah, it holds a lot of wax. Let me try to show you. You can see there's like some, this wax was melted down and now it's just kind of dry, I guess. But yeah, so that's what that is. I'm going to turn this on. I'm actually gonna still get a double boiler ready. Let me sit down so you can see my face. I'm gonna go ahead and get this single burner started, and I'm gonna put a little bit of water in this, and then this is where I'm gonna end up putting the wax from this. So basically there's this little spout. There's a little spout right here, and you'll kind of, you'll turn it on, you'll pour your wax inside here, and then I'll put my fragrance oil in here, and I'll stir it up, pour it into a candle. I'll show you more details later, but I wanted to show you this Presto pot first. Okay, so I just realized that I needed to go ahead and add some more wax into my Presto pot. So I wanted to go ahead and show you like what the coconut wax looks like. So I get mine from, I think it's called Honey and Hive Co. But yeah, it's actually coconut apricot cream wax. It's not just coconut. It has apricot wax as well. So I'm just gonna throw all my, it looks like this, sorry, it's like a brick, basically. There we go. Huge chunk of wax. It's pretty soft though, and I started out using like soy wax, but it was really hard to work with. Like there was like the tops of the candles, when you poured them, they'd be like really unsmooth and just like ugly. And a lot of time, sometimes it's hard to get like a hot throw, which is like how, I guess, potent the wax, like, or how potent the candle like smells when you light it. So I ended up switching to the coconut wax because it's still like more of a clean wax, but it's easier to work with. The candles are beautiful, and the hot throw is so good. So anyways, let me turn this on and then let's start chatting. Okay, so I'm still training in person, training clients. I train them in my garage gym, and I'm also still doing nutrition coaching. I'm still doing online fitness and nutrition coaching where I like send the workouts to my clients, and you know, I send it through an app so they have videos and all that stuff. So I'm still doing that, and it's going great. I'm still loving it. I love like the variety. But basically, I kind of want to take you back to what happened and why I started making candles. So last year when the pandemic started, I hired a business coach, and I had this idea for years to launch this group coaching program online, to teach just how to live a healthy lifestyle, provide workouts, provide like group coaching. And so I did that. Like I launched the program. I got in, like, it was almost full. I wanted 10, but there was 9. And I mean, it went great. Like, it was awesome. The thing was though, when I was getting ready to launch the program, like I had a miscarriage. And so that was kind of like tough to continue to like promote my program on Instagram and just trying to get the word out there and maintain that like high energy. And when I was also going through something that was kind of, you know, like emotional, and I also didn't want to like suppress it, which is like my normal go-to. But anyways, so then like 2 weeks later, I ended up getting pregnant again. So, and now I'm, you know, 30 weeks pregnant. So that one, you know, worked out. But I was like exhausted. I was exhausted like throughout the whole 8-week program that I had created. Like, I had a lot of work to do, and I was excited to do it, and I was like ready to do it. And I still enjoyed the process, like, and you know, the whole thing, but it was just exhausting because if you don't know, like when you're in your first trimester, the first like 12, 13 weeks of being pregnant, you can be very tired. Like it affects everyone different. Like I didn't have any morning sickness, but I was just very tired. And so like on top of all the work I was putting out, I was just already drained just from being pregnant. So after the program was over, I was, you know, talking with my business coach, and I was like, you know, like ideally it would have been smart for me to like launch the program again and like get people in to start for the new year. And I wanted to make the program even better and like make it longer. And but I just felt like all this resistance, like just because I knew how much energy it would take, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have that energy, you know, like I'm gonna be further along my pregnancy, and I just don't know if I'm gonna have the energy that I would want to give to the people in the program. And so like my heart wasn't in it fully. So it took a while for me to finally like allow myself to not launch the program again. And I'm glad I did, but what I ended up doing is I kind of pivoted. Like it was almost like as my body was creating a new life, I also started to feel like I wanted to be more creative, and I wanted to create things like with my hands. And I like to paint, but my paintings aren't anything that anyone would buy. But I did decide to, like one day I was just journaling, and all of a sudden this idea to just start making candles like dawned on me. And so I ended up buying a little candle making kit that came with everything that I needed. Like I think it came with this pouring pitcher, it came with the wicks, it came with soy wax, it came with everything. And I was like, man, you know, whenever I do my morning routine, like I love having either like a candle going, or I like to turn on essential oils in the diffuser. So, and I love like that for like mood support. And it just, you know, the idea started to come to me to create these candles for like mood support and to support people just in their journeys. That's why I love training, like I love, and nutrition coaching, like I love to provide that support. But it's also kind of perfect because I know that I will want to, you know, like be present in my baby's life. And so the candle making business isn't going to be the same type of energy as it is with personal training. And not saying I'm going to stop personal training, but there's probably going to be a little bit of a gap for a while. I'm not really sure, you know, I have no idea, but I just love the idea of being able to do something where I can also like work from home and, you know, be with my baby when he gets here. And yeah, so anyways, like that's kind of where the idea came from. And so I actually started with soy wax, I started with essential oils, and then I realized that, you know, the soy wax I didn't like. I also realized that essential oils do not work in candles. I was really stubborn about this, and oh my God, I don't even want to tell you how much I spent on essential oils. Like I spent so much on essential oils, like we're just gonna breathe that out. Once I realized that I couldn't make the candles with essential oils, I was pretty discouraged because what happens when you do the essential oils in the candle is the candle either like burns off the scent, or I mean, that's basically what it does. It burns up the essential oil, and the essential oil doesn't have the therapeutic benefits that it normally would if you diffused it, and so that kind of takes away from the whole point. So with the essential oils, it smelled like fuel when you would burn them. Like there was this like scent of like fumes. So I did not, I was like, okay, we're not gonna do this. We're gonna find a new route. So like I said, I started with the soy, switched to the coconut, and then it's just so much testing that's involved. I'm actually testing a candle. I'm like looking over at it right now, just judging it. But like with the different waxes, there's so many different waxes, and there are so many different wicks. So it's not like a one size fits all. It's not easy. And then whenever you add like the fragrance oils, like that also plays a part. So even if it's like the same size candle jar, the same wax, the same brand of fragrance oils, like the wick size can vary drastically. So there's a few candles that I know for sure are gonna be good, and so those are the ones I'm gonna make one of those today with you. But yeah, there's still some testing that needs to be done. So I'm hoping that I'm able to launch my business by the end of April. I'm sorry, the beginning of April, end of March. That is my hope. That is my prayer. And then basically, I'm hoping to kind of keep my shop open for 4 weeks until the end of April. And then basically I'll kind of start my maternity leave. And then basically, depending how things go, like I would hope I'd be able to jump back into it, but we're just gonna see. I'm not gonna like try to play God here and figure it out. Oh, my wax is almost melted. But yeah, so we're just gonna see. We're gonna see what happens, and that's the plan. Is I'm hoping to launch this by end of March, beginning of April, and then keep the shop open for 4 weeks. But we'll see. You know, I might sell out in the first day. I have no idea. We'll see. But let's see. So I am in the testing process, and now I'm gonna show you how to make candles. There was one more thing I wanted to add, but pregnancy brain, it's so real. Oh yeah, I found it. I already filed for my LLC. I still have like quite a few steps to take to continue getting this on the road. or off the ground. But yeah, my business name is Arise and Aspire, and I'm very excited. It took me forever to find the name, but it's Arise and Aspire Co. And the whole reason is Arise is because it's like arising from sleep, arising like in the morning when you're doing your morning routine, or for me it was like my spiritual awakening, like arising from like literally sleepwalking, you know, when you finally have that consciousness come to you. So that's part of it. And you can go back and like watch some of my videos about kind of like my spiritual journey if you're curious about that. Aspire, just because I am just one of those people, like I love to like aspire towards different types of goals. Obviously I'm working on a business, that's just another thing I'm aspiring to, and I just feel like aspiring towards something is just like the spice of life. It's when you feel like the most alive. So yeah, these candles are just meant to like support you in your aspirations, and then I'm hoping that, like, you know, after I get these candles, you know, figured out, I would like to like launch maybe like some guided type journals. I'm not really sure, but I didn't like want to pigeonhole myself in candles, so that's why it's not like Arise and Aspire Candles. It's Arise and Aspire Co. because I want to leave it open to expansion. So anyways, let's get started. Give me just a second, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so you might not be able to see my face, but I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. So let's see. We're starting out with our pouring pitcher, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my thermometer inside so I can measure the wax temperature. So the thing with coconut waxes, they have to be mixed with the fragrance oil at a very high temperature. So once this wax is done melting, I'm going to put it in this jar. I'm gonna take it from my Presto pot, put it into the jar, and then I'm gonna sit it onto the double boiler. So the reason I put it in the double boiler is because whenever I take it from the Presto pot and put it into here, the temperature drops like immediately, and it needs to be poured with the fragrance oil like really hot. It needs to be around 200 degrees. So I'm gonna take it from the Presto pot, sit it in here, and then I'm gonna mix the fragrance oil while it's still in here so it stays really hot. Because if you don't, whenever you burn the candle after it cures for 2 weeks, it's not going to be as strong. So obviously you want your candle to be strong when you burn it. So that's what we're going to do. But first off, I need to wick my jar. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to have taking my wicks, and I'm using the HPSP wick, size 36 for this one. And I'm gonna also be using this ginger and Palo Santo, let's see, fragrance oil from the Wooden Wick Co. It's also I don't know how to say it, but it's like phthalate free, which I think can cause some type of cancer. So I like that their oils are healthier for you. So let's see, let me make sure this wick is gonna be long enough. Yep. Okay, so basically you take your wick sticker, you can peel it off, stick it onto the bottom of the wick, and then peel the other piece of adhesive off. And then I'm gonna find the center of the jar, and I'm going to stick the wick in there. So I just make sure it's pressed in, and then I have these little centering bars that I'm going to use to center the wick. Let's see, hopefully you can see that. So our jar is wicked, it's right through the middle, and I'm just going to make sure that this is pulled pretty tight. I don't want it to be crooked. Okay, so it looks good. Now, let's see. Now I'm going to take my little gram scale. I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna measure out my fragrance oil. And the way I do it is I use these old shot glasses. I actually quit drinking in 2020. Like I didn't drink all of 2020. These are like old shot glasses from like 2009. I used to collect them. But now they are useful again because I can use them for my fragrance oils. So we're gonna tear this, zero it out. I need to get it onto grams. There we go. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to pour one candle to test this wick and make sure it works. I'm pretty positive that this is the wick that I'll be using in the flow state candle, which is what I'm going to be calling it. And then this jar kind of looks ugly because I was trying to figure out what size labels I wanted to buy for it. But basically it's the same scent. There's just like a little bit left, and I still have like a lot of testing to do with this jar. Most likely I'm gonna have to double wick it, and I ordered more wicks to be able to do that, but now I want to go ahead and fill it up pretty high. That way I can, you know, find out the right wick for this. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna be basically doing 15 ounces of wax and then 35 grams of fragrance oil, which again, it's like 420 grams of wax and then 35 grams of fragrance oil. There's some candle math involved, but I will save that. Unless you want to know, let me know in the comments. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and pour this. So this candle is going to be about 9% fragrance. For the coconut wax candles, I think you can go up to 12%. But the 9% is great. It smells really, really good. Sometimes less is more, so we're going to measure this out. Hopefully I didn't do too much. Yay, I'm at 30 grams. It smells so good. This one is like one of my favorites. It's hard to say which one's my absolute favorite because I have a couple favorites. I mean, I really enjoy all of them. Even my training clients, like it's pretty hilarious because I always say like, oh, this is my favorite exercise, and like every single exercise that I give them to do is like my favorite. So it's kind of silly, but I also really enjoy working out. So what can I say? Perfect. We've got 35 grams. Now we'll move over and measure out our wax. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We are going to measure out 420 grams of wax. And by the way, I usually don't do my candles in here, but this is what we're gonna do today because there's nursery furniture in my office and I'm not gonna be able to be in there to record. So this is what we're doing. Okay, now this wax, this little handle is really hot. It's my only complaint about this thing. You know what? I'm gonna have to redo this. I forgot to tear this because this freaking pitcher weighs 179 grams. So we need to zero it out first and then we pour the wax in. Rookie mistake. Let's try again. All right, 420, perfect. Okay, so this is, okay, still not too cool, that's good, but we still gotta mix it for 30 seconds. So I'm gonna, stick it on the double boiler, make sure it stays hot. I need it up closer to like 190. All I know is the hotter it is, the better. So we're gonna wait. Let me get my little stirring thing. So we got everything ready now. I'm gonna move this out of the way. yeah, so waiting to make sure this gets back to 200. Then I'm gonna dump this oil in, mix it for 30 seconds. With the coconut wax, you don't really need to mix it too long because it's gonna drop the temperature too low. If you're like mixing it for 2 minutes, you wanna mix it only for like 30 seconds. And then pour it immediately. And then you have to let these cure for 2 weeks before you can start burning them. So that's the other part that takes a long time with the wick testing. It's just the fact that you have to wait 2 weeks before you can actually test them. What I'm gonna do is dump this oil in there. Give it a good stir. All right. All stirred up. You want to always wipe your tools like immediately because this wax will dry up. I'm going to take my thermometer out, wipe that off, and I turned this off already, and now we're going to go ahead and pour. So you got to be really careful too so you don't spill it. All right, done. Let there be light, lighten me up. There we go. Once it's poured, you have to like let it dry. I'll show you what another candle looks like when it's done. Let me go grab one real quick just so you can kind of get a little visual. I'll be right back. I don't know how to do this. There we go, look at me. There's magic. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Very white and pure, and it just burns really pretty. Smells like ginger. It smells like happiness to me. But anyways, that's it for today. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and let me look normal. Okay, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, so it's the next day and I decided to re-record the actual candle because I wanted you to actually get a real glimpse of what they're gonna look like. Completed candles, so they're just really pretty and they smell great, and like I said before, I'm gonna let them cure for 2 weeks before I burn them. But I'm really happy with just where I'm at with the candle business, and I'm getting so close to being done. And again, thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram at Arise and Aspire Co. And then also subscribe to my email list on my website. It's ariseandaspireco.com. The website isn't live yet, but if you want to be notified once it is, go ahead and just leave your email address in there and I will let you know. All right, y'all have a good one. Bye.